Very soon, over the next couple of days. Look, we're going to get it done. The Russia-Ukraine situation, we're going to get it done. I have confidence we're going to get it done.
Russia had a pretty big attack on Ukraine over the weekend. You have always said how good your relationship is with President Putin, but he's not really giving you anything that you want. Is that making you less trustful of him?
Well, nobody was tougher in Russia than me. That has to do with the pipeline, as you know, Nord Stream 2 and lots of other things. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy about the whole situation. You know, it's interesting. It doesn't affect us because it's not our soldiers. But they're losing now. I used to tell you 5,000. They're losing 7,000 between Ukraine and Russia, 7,000 soldiers every single week. It's such a horrible waste of humanity. So, no, I am not thrilled with what's happening there, I will tell you. I think it's going to get settled. So I settled 7 wars. This, I would have said, would have been maybe the easiest one to settle of all. But with war, you never know what you're getting. But we're going to get it. I believe we're going to get it settled. But I am not happy with them. I'm not happy with anything having to do with that war. It's just such a waste of great humanity.
The greatest obstacle to a peace deal in Ukraine?
Say it?
As of right now, what do you think is the greatest obstacle to a peace deal?
Well, we're going to see. I mean, we have some very interesting discussions. You know, certain European leaders are coming over to our country on Monday or Tuesday, and individually. And I think we're going to get that settled. I think we're going to get it settled. We have to. You can't lose. You know, when they're losing 5,000 to 7,000 soldiers a week for no reason, you have to get it settled.
When do you plan to speak to President Putin next? And what
Very soon, over the next couple of days. Look, we're going to get it done. The Russia-Ukraine situation, we're going to get it done. I have confidence we're going to get it done.
Has she expressed anything since you've come back?
No, the First Lady actually got along great with Putin,
right,
as I did. But, you know, we're disappointed. Both of us are disappointed that this ridiculous war continues.
Now in our cities, in Kyiv, Sumy, in other cities and communities, people are being helped by the wounded after the Russian strike. The geography of the strikes is as follows. During the day, Kyiv, Sumy, Kremenchuk, Odessa, Dnipro, Kryvyi Rih, Zaporizhia. In Kyiv, the rubble is still being disassembled. There may be bodies under the rubble. The building of the cabinet of ministers was damaged. At this time, it is known that more than 24 people were injured in Ukraine, 20 of them in Kyiv. My condolences to the relatives and close ones of the deceased. In general, only in the capital, the air alert was more than 7.5 hours. Kyiv was one of the central targets for the Russian drones. Now, again, the air alert is spreading to Ukraine. And it is through the Shard. Last night, there were more than 400 shards. The total number of drones in that strike was 810. That is almost half. These are drones that the Russians use to complicate the air situation and overload the air defense. There were also missiles, including ballistics. A significant part of our soldiers managed to shoot down. This is a significant result. There are results on the drones interceptors. During this night, more than 1,500 interceptions. And the Army Air Force, mobile fire groups, destroyers, air forces, anti-aircraft guns showed themselves well. Thank you all. Of course, not everything is happening yet. And we still need to strengthen our air defense. This is a priority task. The Russians keep the number of shards in massive strikes at the level of 300 to 400 per strike. Our interceptors must reach the appropriate indicator. This is real. There is potential for production. There are finances and contracts. They are provided. It is necessary to scale the corresponding units. Thank you to everyone who performs this task. And thank you to everyone who helps each volunteer, each company. Develop this technology of interceptors. Implement it. Train crews. All this to save people's lives. And it is important that today there is a wide reaction of partners to this blow. Of course, Russia is trying to inflict pain on Ukraine. And strikes more abruptly. This is a clear sign that Putin is testing the world. Will they accept this? Or will they calm down? Therefore, it is important that the statements of leaders, states, and institutions are continued with strong actions. With sanctions against Russia, against people associated with Russia, and with strong tariffs and other restrictions on trade with Russia. Their losses must be felt.